Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The title of my speech is Mutton and Steak, or Cabbages and Potatoes. Today, I like to begin my speech with my college life. My parents give me 600 yuan for accommodation monthly, and every time when I check my account at the beginning of a month, I feel like a millionaire. Therefore, I always impulsively spend a large amount of the money during the first half of a month enjoying mutton, bacon, and steak for meals, but invariably end up eating onions, cabbages, and potatoes at the end of each month. Well, indeed, I should know how to plan my money, but in a broader sense, one should plan the present to create a bright future instead of exploiting the future for the guarantee of a temporarily satisfying present. And that little theory also applies well when it comes to our human beings' future. Nowadays, we are dreaming of a bright future where energy is not exhausted, water is clean and abundant, species no longer extinct, and people live in peace and harmony on Earth. Whether that dream will come true depends largely on whether we decide to exploit the future for the present or plan the present for the future, which may in turn lead to completely different futures of mankind. Well, if human beings all follow my example, I believe we may all end up eating cabbages and potatoes. But what I mean by this is that if we keep on exploiting the future by overusing energy, overpumping underground water, or massively slaughtering wild animals, we may be facing a future where energy is exhausted, water is dried, and species are dying out. And of course, in order to obtain those indispensable resources, conflicts, competitions, and even wars may start again, filling the world with bullets, bombs, and blood. Well, that is the first possible future we human beings may be faced with: dark, gloomy, and violent. Quite the contrary to our dream. However, if we human beings adopt a sense of sustainable development, we can realize how important it is to plan the present for the future. And in that way, our destiny might change. By planning the future here, I mean to use whatever we can use presently at hand to change the bad situation. For example, facing energy crisis, we can try from now on to develop a certain kind of technology that can turn the unlimited solar energy into all kinds of energy we need. And in the same way, water crisis may not be a problem if we try to find ways to turn natural rain into drinking water. And species will be well preserved if we effectively enforce relevant laws and make people realize how important it is to maintain species diversity. And then people, nature, and society are harmonized, and we will certainly usher in our second possible future: bright, promising, harmonious, and peaceful, exactly the same as in our dream. So, ladies and gentlemen, now let's get back to the matter of my food. Of course, standing here in front of all of you here today, I like to promise that I would plan my money for food right now. And I'd like to invite all of you here to plan with me together. From now on, let's enjoy 2 dishes of vegetables and 1 of meat for each meal. And if need be, let's only eat cabbages and potatoes for a few days, because we all know that in that way, mutton and steak will be somewhere in the future blinking at us. Thank you.
Thank you, contestant number 1. We know that China is trying to get itself recognized as a market-oriented economy, and you're advocating planning.
Yes.
Anyway, in today's technological society, and this is the topic of your impromptu speech, in today's technological society, we're becoming busier and busier, but the primary goal of technological advancement is to increase people's efficiency so that everyone has more leisure time. How do you evaluate this situation? How can we improve it?
Okay, thank you, hostess. Well, technology. It's true that nowadays we have internet technological society, and people are getting more and more busy. I'm wondering the reason behind this. Now let's see this. Firstly, a new technology is invented, and then the efficiency that with which the work can be done with this kind of technology is improved. And then we people have more leisure time. But that's where the problem lies. How do we spend this leisure time? Some people spend this leisure time to enjoy lives. That's right. But some people spend this leisure time to pursue more profit, to gain more money. And that is why they are busy with this kind of technology. For example, internet is such a wonderful technology. It is originally meant for us people to surf on the internet, to gain more information so that we don't have to buy magazines or books or newspapers for us convenience. But some business people use the internet to open shops on the internet. And that is what keeps them busy all day long in pursuit of more money and profit. So I think as to the improvement, I think it's very urgent to make people realize that the original purpose of any kind of high tech is to provide us a chance to enjoy the leisure time and to enjoy life. For example, the business people, why not go out there and open a shop in the corner of the street? Maybe you can use a technology to install accelerators in your shop, or maybe you can develop a kind of automatic checkout account for the convenience of your customer. But more importantly is that with this kind of technology, you can sit in your shop watching people going in your shop, buying your product, and maybe you can socialize with them, you can communicate with them, and you can make friends with them. So with this kind of social technology, you can, on one hand, make money, and in the other hand, you can also socialize with people and also enjoy your life. So ladies and gentlemen, why not use our technology as it originally meant for us to use it, and use technology correctly and properly for us to make money while make friends and enjoying life. Thank you.
Contestant number one, congratulations on being the first one to speak.
Yes.
My question is quite simple. Would you think differently about making plans for the future if your parents give you 6,000 yuan a month instead of 600, which means you can well afford to have steak and mutton every day?
Okay, thank you very much for your question. Actually, I think having steak and mutton every day is not healthy at all. Because I think eating meat all day long can make me fat, firstly, and secondly, maybe I can get cancer from it. So I think eating meat all day long is not healthy at all. I think what is healthy is I have already mentioned in my speech, that is 2 dishes of vegetables and 1 of meat for each meal. But I have 6,000 yuan, how can I plan the money? I can plan a certain amount of the money on my food to rationally plan my food. And then the other money, maybe I can donate those money to the people that lack this money, the poor, the sick children. I can donate them to show my kindness to them. Yes, so I think that's how I plan my money. Thank you.
Okay, I will have a question for you on your impromptu speech.
Okay.
Talking about technology, do you think that you could manage without the use of technology to get through a day?
Well, thank you very much for a question. I don't think I can. I think it's a part of humans' development. Okay, the 2 themes of the world today is peace and development. And I think technology is an indispensable part of our development. For example, every day, what we use, I think this microphone also contains technology in it, right? So I think without this microphone, everybody here cannot hear me. So I will not spend my day here. And of course, when I finish this competition, I will go back to my hotel room, I will stick on the TV, I watch TV. That is also technology. And also, how can I get onto the 11th floor of my room? That is the elevator. That is also technology. I think technology is all around us. I think nowadays we can't live a day without technology. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your speeches.
Thank
I'd
you.
like to follow up on the idea of technology. How do you use technology in your life to solve your own issues and problems and difficulties?
Okay, thank you very much for your question. Well, how do I solve my difficulties with technology? I think, as I have already mentioned, I'm a TV slob. And I really like watching TV. And I think watching TV is more convenient than surfing on the internet. And I think that is how I use the technology. There's technology content in TV. I watch TV. I gain information. I entertain myself. And also, to solve my problem, for example, my speech, the script of my speech. And I think writing the script is such a kind of trouble. So I use typewriter, right? I use typewriter. So this prepared speech, mutton and steak, cabbages and potato, is I all type it in a typewriter, and I finish it in only half an hour. So, but if I write it, maybe I can only finish it in 1 hour or 1 hour and a half. So this improves my efficiency at work. So I think that's my answer. Thank you very much.